the star-filled sky is just kicking up like it could fly. Pedal to the metal, making engines scream. Life in the rear view is nothing but failed dreams. Steel beasts come roaring side by side. Thunder rolling through our hearts as beats collide. Tire smoke and engine sounds fill the air. The need for speed has consumed my stare. Racing for the win, chasing those dreams. Adrenaline pumping through my veins. Chasing glory past these finish lights. Fist pumping, tire burning, donuts slain in the night. Wheels spinning in eternal fight to win. Pedal to the metal and we are all in. Racing demons leaving scars. Chasing down elusive stars. Busting knuckles become more stained dreams. Victory always comes at a price, it seems. Crowds roars echo through the night. Crossing that finish line is always a fight. Time stands still until victory has come. To the night lights as roaring engines come undone. Grit and guts keep us at the edge tonight. Looking for that checkered flag to fly. Racing for the win, chasing those dreams. Adrenaline pumping through my veins. Chasing glory past these finish lights. Fist pumping, tire burning, donuts slaying in the night. Wheels spinning in eternal fight to win. Pedal to the metal and we are all in. Racing demons leaving scars. Chasing down elusive stars. Racing for the win, chasing those dreams. Adrenaline pumping through my veins. Chasing glory past these finish lights. Fist pumping, tire burning, donuts slaying in the night. Stars, racing for the win, chasing those dreams. Adrenaline pumping through my veins. Chasing glory past these finish lights. Fist pumping, tire burning, donuts slaying in the night. She walked in with a scream, eyes like fire, so mean, breaking hearts with no care. I saw through her cold stare. Lies and deceit all day, twisted games that she played. I had to break the chain, had to end all this pain. Psycho woman all about her, couldn't stay another hour. Packed my bag, said goodbye, no more tears left to cry. Like a queen, made my life a bad scene. Couldn't breathe, couldn't fight, I just had to take flight. She controlled like a queen, made my life a bad scene. Couldn't breathe, couldn't fight, I just had to take flight. Thought I missed her, but no, better off on my own. Now I'm free, I can breathe, left her drama to see. Like a woman all about her, couldn't stay another hour. Packed my bag, said goodbye, no more tears left to cry. like a queen. Made my life a bad scene. Couldn't breathe, couldn't fight. I just had to take flight. Thought I'd miss her, but no. Better off on my own. Now I'm free, I can breathe. Left her drama to seethe. Psycho woman all about her. Couldn't stay another hour. Packed my bag, said goodbye. No more tears left to cry.
Hello everybody and welcome to tonight's coverage of the 5th season of the NASCAR Class C Maconi Fixed Series. This evening we're excited to bring you top split action from the weekly strength of field race from the virtual Rockingham Speedway here in North Carolina. Maconi Entertainment is here to bring you action from all types of racing, including tonight's top split action of the Maconi C Fixed Trucks Series, the Road to Pro Series, and of course Fast Fridays, which just wrapped up prior to this. No matter what you're racing, we can bring the action to life. My name is Shane Mundy. I am your host tonight. Joining me in the booth is the one, the only Jeremy Briggs, with the lovely DJ Lion working the controls as our producer. Jeremy, this is the first week of the season, starting to wrap up, albeit, but we're taking on Rockingham Speedway tonight, one of the hardest tracks to save tires on at iRacing. With that in mind, what are we looking at tonight?
Well, as we take a look at our Google Earth, great shot here. Look at this track. You're pretty much your traditional looking track, but it is not. To me, it kind of has almost like a Darlington feel to it. It's 1 mile in length. It's located in Concord, North Carolina. Opened up in 1960. Actually has an infield road course that they added in 1971. This racetrack holds up like multiple types of racing, and I am excited to say that we're going back in 2025. The last major track change was in 2019. 24 degrees of banking in the corners with 5 degrees of banking on the straightaways. Just over 34,000 people in the stands and probably much more in the infield. Tonight's race will be 40 laps. That means it'll be 40 miles here tonight at the top split of the Craftsman Trucks Series Maconi C Fixed Series.
Yeah, let's take a look here at our 2024 schedule. Of course, we try to follow the real real NASCAR schedule, pardon me, as much as we can, but the trucks are off this week. So we're here at Rockingham giving you a little bit of an early 2025 preview. We'll be off to Bristol next week, then Kansas, Talladega, Las Vegas, Iowa. We got Homestead. We got everybody's favorite, Martinsville, Phoenix. That is where the real NASCAR season ends, so we get the wild cards of Kentucky, Auto Club, Atlanta, and off the screen is the finale at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Always brings great action in the trucks here on iRacing, so definitely in for a great Season 4 of 2024. Hard to believe we're already at this point, Jeremy, but we are ready for what tonight has to bring. So tell me, Jeremy, you mentioned being excited about this place coming back in 2025. Maybe some of our viewers at home, maybe not familiar with The Rock. What are you most excited about to see next year at The Rock?
When I was growing up, I kind of watched a few races on this track. I kind of feel like I watched the demise of the track, and as a kid growing up, you really didn't understand the magnitude of what it was to almost lose a track like that, and just seeing it come back, being an older person as an adult, having more of an appreciation of what we have in life, and watching something like this come back to real life, like I said, is exciting, and I'm sure it'll be great racing. The drivers tonight hopefully can save their tires. We've got 43 laps to go, or 43 laps tonight. We'll check up our starting grid as qualifying is complete.
We'll bring up that starting grid for you in a moment. Obviously exciting that Rockingham will return in 2025 for trucks and Xfinity racing in the real NASCAR world. trucks are hitting the grid. Engines are getting fired. We're getting ready to roll here. But before we do that, let's take a look at where these top split drivers will line up. It's Adam Gilliatt on the pole tonight with a time of 23.99 seconds. Ben Jones joins him on row 1. Row 2 has Gabriel Mauricio in the third spot, Cal Etheridge in fourth, Philip Surzinski in fifth, Jamie Haynes rounds out row 3, Larry Pace in seventh, Kevin Boylan 8th. It's Tony Brewer and Brady Sellers wrapping up the top 10. Jeremy.
Just outside the top 10, Mitch Hughes in 11th, 12th, Ryan Robertson, Justin Hoyle in 13th, Caleb Johnson there in 14th, and in 15th, just right there in the top 10, Matthew Warren. Just outside top 15, Wendy Messenger. 17th is the number 17 of James Cree, and 18th is the number 18 of Benjamin Groves. And then after him, nobody else takes times. Carlos Lucino, Chris Miller, Noah Hubbard, Joey Vergara, Alex Parker, and Mark Farfara, excuse me, I don't know if I said that right, but 24 trucks, I believe, are on the track. It's going to be 43 laps. Pace car lights are off. Getting ready to go, Shane.
It's going to be a great night here. Obviously, a race of attrition with tire wear in consideration. We're excited to see what these guys can bring us. Top split action. Let's take a look at those weather conditions brought to you by Maconi Setup Shop. Mostly cloudy here at Rockingham, but still a beautiful virtual day with an air temperature of 77 degrees. Track temp high in the 101 degrees Fahrenheit. Wind speeds are coming from the north of 8 miles per hour. Pace car ready to make a very sharp left-hand turn where we will greet Barney the flagman as Adam Gilliatt that comes to the line. We're underway at Rockingham Speedway. So far, so good for Gilliatt through 1 and 2. He is clear to lead. Double file throughout most of the pack out back, and we got a spinner out the back already. One truck's going to hit the...
Well, when we get to that replay, we'll take a look at that as Adam Gilliatt, like we said, that started on the pole, is still our leader. And
yeah, it seemed the trend of the week here so far in the C Fixed Series at iRacing. A lot of people getting kind of squirrely off turn 2, but maybe even more so on those colder tires, maybe not up to temp. Not entirely sure who that was that went around, but it was a black truck, I believe blue numbers on there. We're trying to identify the truck that was involved in the accident here. It was right off turn 2, a little closer to the back of the field. Let's see. Oh, yeah, someone, I believe what you heard on driver chat was probably accurate. Got the 9 actually got tagged as well. It looks like he's able to walk away with absolutely no damage, I believe, for the most part, other than sliding the tires a touch. But under caution early, a little bit of a stack up off turn 2. These are tight quarters under these restarts, and I'm sure that'll be a theme throughout the night, Jeremy, as we go through more restarts. Here's another angle for the viewers at home.
This track's almost got a Dover-like feel to it. Kind of self-clears to the bottom, and just everybody in the back trying to check up. A lot happening early on here. Like everybody bunched up on that first initial start. I'm sure everybody will take a deep breath here and maybe try to have an easier going on the next one. I do believe I saw a couple trucks come down the pit road. I'm not sure if it was damage and or maybe just topping off on fuel, or maybe thinking tires of some sort, but I'm hoping we should see the pace car. There we go, finally caught up to the field, and we are now 1 to green.
And pace car caught up just in time there, coming up on the 1 to go. We're going to get the green with 39 laps of racing remaining here at Rockingham. We had a lap 1 accident coming off turn 2. restart box where you can just go off old Barney the flagman. We're about to find out what the strategy is here for that 3 truck as the pace car gets set to make the left-hand turn down pit road. Maybe we'll get farther than out of turn 2 this time around. We're coming to the green flag. Side by side into the restart zone, and about midway through it is where Gilliat will hit the gas, gets another great jump, and they're going to be side by side for second through 1 and 2, and no contest. The 2 truck takes it over as we go down the back straightaway. Keep an eye on everybody as they go off turn 2. We already saw 1 accident there, and we made it farther than we did that initial run, Jeremy.
Looks like we're going to have our first lap under green completed. This track just really tight, kind of got, like I said, the Darlington feel. It's just it's wider than Darlington, but everything kind of just happens so fast, and everybody's just pushing really hard because everybody's racing. You want to go forward. That's why we're here. And when accidents happen like that, as we're now almost 3 wide here, great battle. As it looks like that 1 car on the bottom is going to bail out. Great move. Early on, don't want to push it too hard.
You definitely don't want to burn up those good years too quickly, because you see multiple grooves come into play here as well. Maybe something you don't see at a track like Dover is that, where you got some guys way up against the fence, at least nowadays. And of course, in these trucks, you know, you've got a lot of guys throughout the field here that are going to be pretty snappy tonight. The more the tires burn off, especially off exit of turn 2, I'll tell you, is where you're going to see guys start to get a little out of shape. You already see a little bobble out of the Ford truck there of Johnson, just ahead of who we're on board with here in Justin Hoyle out of Carolina, currently up in the 12th position, just up 1 from where he started, but improvement is improvement. And we're coming back to 35 laps to go, and you brought up a great point a moment ago, Jeremy, talking about how it's go time. You know, we want to race. We got to get every spot we can, especially in these shorter fixed series races. The 6 truck bounces off the outside wall off turn 2, going to lose a lot of momentum. But especially in these fixed setup races like a C Fixed, B, or even A Fixed Cup cars, the races are short. You know, we're down to 34 laps to go now, or 34 laps to go now. So it's already, you know, we're not far from the end. It might seem like it, but these go by in a hurry.
Just basically just under 34 miles to go at this 1 mile track. They click by pretty quick. Watching these drivers' lap times right now, the leader of Adam Gillian just drove down to 24.4. I believe tire wear might be starting to become a slight factor. The tires might be finally getting hot, as these drivers have now finally put very consecutive. Oh, we got a little loose right there off of 2. Man, these drivers are really hanging it out there off of 2, and finally got a good green flag run going. Knock on wood, broadcasters jinx. We can continue on for the rest of the race this way.
Definitely don't need any of the commentators jinx. I've been a part of that a few more times than I'd like to mention. We got 1 going around. It's the 23 truck, that Logitech G Ford of Tony Blake Brewer goes around. Unfortunately, now matching the iRacing assigned car number on that Ford F-150, the 23 now down to 23rd. We'll take a look at what happened to Tony here. Was in this battle that we were just looking at moments ago, and you mentioned tire wear, and did he snap off too? Or did he might have had some help here. A little bit of a late block on the 5. The 5 was there. He cut the 23. No brakes in the 12, actually. Kyle drove the 23. That's going to be a lot of damage to the front of the 12 truck.
That was a...
Oh, more contact here.
Wow. Oh, wow. What are we...
Oh, this is just a replay. Sorry. Okay. This is a 12 going, I thought we were live there. I think Darrell Waltrip's done that before, so it's okay.
But, we had cars banging off each other coming in.
Yeah, I thought we were, yeah. My goodness. I thought the 12 was back on track already. That's my bad. All right, so we're on.
I was all excited.
So we're looking at the 14 truck here. 29 laps remain. We're on board with Ben Jones here out of Florida. He's down 1 spot from where he started in 3rd, but he could be taking care of his equipment maybe a little bit better. Mauricio, we mentioned he was clear to 2nd off that last restart, although still has not had anything to catch Adam Gilliat As there's a pretty decent gap as you see them dive into turn one. That white truck is our second place runner, Gilliat, the black truck up ahead. There's another good shot of it. So this kind of showcases the gaps between everybody. And another reason you might not see, oh boy, you had one bounce off the wall there. I was going to say, another reason you might not see as many yellows as you're used to in the C Fixed broadcasts here on both Maconi Entertainment and the iRacing socials is these guys get pretty spread out. So there's not really a lot of close quarter racing that could, you know, lead to a mistake that would bring out the caution flag.
Correct, because pretty much everybody's driving the same setup, and it's who can save their tires, who can make the least amount of mistakes, who can stay up front in that clean air, because clean air is king no matter where you are. And being able to set that pace is Gillen. As we watch the number one truck there of Larry Pace trying to make his way up towards the front, now running fourth, putting the pressure on the Jones machine for third. I believe this is probably our closest battle in the top 10 right now.
Yeah, and the one truck, obviously, you know, we mentioned just a few laps ago about how short these races are in distance, so he doesn't have a lot of time to make work on Jones and the 14 truck ahead of him if he wants to have a shot. Jones going to have a little bit of a slide. Pace thought about taking his pace to the outside, rethought that move. He dives back down in behind the 14. He'll have to wind it up and try again. Coming back to 24 laps remaining here at Rockingham. Still Adam Gilliat up front in the 3 truck. Has led flag to flag thus far.
I believe we are in our first 15 lap run potentially, and it looks like these drivers are starting to feel those effects. So some starting to go towards the back, starting to come towards the front. They're comers and goers. We got 23 laps to go. A lot still left to happen, but like you said, they're going to click off quick. Right now we're down to 25-second lap times. These drivers are falling off the pace as the tires are starting to wear. We'll have to see if he can stay up front.
Now, we mentioned at the start of the race that Gilliat's pole lap was definitely not in the 25-second range, so plenty of tire fall off here thus far. But it does bring me to bring up something you mentioned just a moment ago. We ride on board Brady Sellers out of the Carolina Club, currently in the 11th position, down just one spot from where he started in his Toyota Tundra Pro. See these guys getting loose off the exit too, but you brought up a great point just a moment ago, Jeremy, and I wanted to touch on it just a little bit. You point out that this is a fixed setup, so to the viewers at home that may not be familiar with that, imagine that NASCAR just brought everybody's trucks and cars to the track that weekend for them. They're all set up the exact same way. Maybe you can touch on a few things there, like the steering and, you know, your brake bias, stuff like that for comfortability. But as far as how fast you're going to be able to make it, this is pretty much set in stone. The reason that you are seeing guys be able to be more dominant than others is because they're managing their equipment better. These fixed series races are a great way to tell whose racecraft is superior to some others in the field. And it's a great way for some whose racecraft may be on a side that they would rather improve on. It's a great way to improve your racecraft. And that's another reason I run strictly fixed when I'm on iRacing. It is just so much fun to try and prove your skill, your capabilities, your ability to adapt to not just the track, but those around you as well.
And like you said, driver's skill, it's showing up here in the top split, because guess what? It's almost 1, 2, 3, but it's the 1, 2, 3 trucks in reverse order right now is what looks like we have a battle for second going on between the 1 and 2 truck. There's a reason why these drivers are numbered this way. They've got the highest, you know, S.O.F, and we'll have to see if it pretty much transpires here late in the race, just in that order. As the number 3 truck's been, like you said, leading pretty much the whole race, so we'll see whose it is tonight. As the 1 truck's finally made it to second of Gabriel Marcio. Oh, excuse me, Larry Pace, excuse me, looking at the wrong sheet. Yeah, just 7/10 a second behind, but we'll see if he starts gaining.
Absolutely, and I mean, so far so good. We saw him in that battle with Jones not long ago, so Pace has picked up his pace. I'm not sure how many more puns I'm allowed in terms of the last name, but he's doing a phenomenal job nonetheless. And he brought up another great point about the S.O.F series is everybody's number assignments are based off skill as well, things like I-rating, safety rating, stuff like that. I'm pretty sure it goes into a bit of a metric, and that's why Larry Pace has been given number 1 this session and has ranked him as the best driver in the session by the metric that they use. Little bit of door banging there into turn 3. Wow, the 7 and 10 leaning on each other. That's another great part of Rockingham, is sometimes you get some short track moments out of it despite it being a little over a mile.
Just over a little bit of a mile. Look at this close racing action here through 1 and 2 between the number 10 of Philip Sarzinski and Jamie Haynes, the number 7 on his outside. Close battling with the number 16 of Tal Altheridge right there just on the back bumper of Philip. Man, this is some great racing here for 5th, 6th, and 7th. Is now 8th place trying to tip their hat in it. As the leader now getting into lap traffic. We'll see if the leader can continue to lead up front. Look at this, 4 cars under a blanket here.
Absolutely, and not one of them wants to let up. The 10 just giving it all he can on the 7. Finally going to complete the pass into turn 3, but look who it opens the door for. It's the 16 truck down to his inside. Those two are battling. The 16, you know, you're not burning up your equipment as much when you're not running side by side, so those two might be racing each other again very shortly. And it's going to be for a spot lower than they were battling last time, because the 16 is headed for that spot that the 10 truck has. You look at your top of your screen, it's the top 3. Still Gilliat in the lead from the pole, led flag to flag, 12 laps to go for him to get the win. It's Pace in 2nd. Mauricio runs in 3rd. And look at the 13 truck. I'm not sure how obvious that was on the broadcast, but he drove it in deep into 1, sideways, slideways, whatever you want to call it. But these guys are definitely hitting the point where they are feeling
with the leader with a lap car.
They were feeling the effect of lap cars. Indeed, I believe that's the 11, the truck that was involved in our earliest accident, and that has allowed Pace to reel in Gilliat. We might see our first battle for the lead. Gilliat right up against the boards, right trying not to hit the rock signage up against the wall. And we're hitting 10 laps to go. If there's any time for it to ramp up, it's now. Pace is going to be perfect. Drives it in deep into the center of the corner, trying to stay on the tailgate of Gilliat. So far, so good as they're halfway down the backstretch, coming to 9 laps to go, Jeremy.
Driving it right to his bumper, the Pace machine all over the back of Gilliat. This is great battling here between the 3 and the 1 machine as they continue to be just slightly better than the other. And oh man, this is really putting on one heck of a show. I don't know what happened between the 3 car and the 11, but I think the 3 was trying to go on the outside of the 11, and 11 just didn't want the leader on his outside. This is what happens because of that. And sometimes that's just the name of the game here in racing. You gotta figure out your way to get around that lap traffic.
Absolutely, lap traffic plays such a role. Here comes Pace to the bottom of Gilliat. We've seen how fast the 1 truck has gotten almost out of nowhere. We saw him battling for 3rd not long ago. Gilliat's into the outside wall off turn 2. Here comes Pace. Larry Pace to the lead in turn 3, coming to 7 laps to go. Does Gilliat have anything to rebound, or is Pace played it perfectly?
Looks like this might be Pace's race. We'll have to see if he pulls away or if Gilliat is going to bring back the fight. Or can Pace not make a mistake? Lots can happen. Drivers are human and stuff can happen. And we're coming to 6 laps to go. I'm excited. It looks like we got smoke in the air, possibly a car spun out, but we're still green. Coming around to 6 to go.
We did have a spinner, obviously, since we are under green, out of the field of play by iRacing terms, so we do, in fact, stay under the green flag. Brought up that these guys are human just a moment ago, and the same applies to the situation with Gilliat in the lap truck in the 11. Now, lap trucks, you know, usually you expect them to get out of the way, and sometimes they try, but oftentimes, and really not to any fault of their own, it's Robertson in the 11 truck, by the way. Big battle here, but you'll oftentimes catch lappers where it's inconvenient for the both of you. And it's just one of those things about racing that you have to adapt to. And it obviously is disappointing for Gilliat, who is basically dominated this race. 7 trucks sideways, able to save it. But as devastating as it is for Gilliatt, Pace was running him down, but you can't help but wonder what the battle could have been had that not gone down. As we take a look at the 10 truck here now.
Great battles going around the track now as a lot of drivers starting to fall off like that 3 truck did and unfortunately lost the lead here late in the going. Just being oh so close. Once we got this green flag run going though, these drivers have been really driving these trucks like they're supposed to. This 13 truck just trying to move forward, doing a great job as we got the 14, the 16, the 10, the 7, or excuse me, the 13 truck there, the top 7, doing great jobs. Keeping it clean and green here at the end as we're coming around to 2 laps to go.
It's Boylan trying to get around Szerzynski for that position, and that would be the 6th spot. 13 driving it deep into 1 and 2, trying all he can, driving it in sideways just about, but it is all Larry Pace. Talked about how the 3, could he rebound? Right now the answer is no, and as long as the 1 truck makes it back around here, he'll see the white flag. It'll be the final lap for Larry Pace, who came out of seemingly nowhere as we go into 1 and 2 for the final time. White flag is out from Rockingham. Down the back stretch for the final time. Sorry, go ahead, Jeremy.
Just say Pace started in 7th plus 6. It's going to be a great finish for Pace today.
Absolutely. Came out of nowhere seemingly. We saw him battling for 3rd. Not sure if anybody thought he'd end up here, but I bet Larry Pace did. He gets the win in the C Fixed Series top split tonight on Maconi Entertainment and iRacing Socials. Larry Pace, congratulations to the #1 truck, coming home P1 with the pace to do so. I'm out of puns. I'm done. You're welcome. So Larry Pace gonna park it in turn 3, not gonna get any donuts here, so we will step aside just for a moment. You're watching our coverage of tonight's Maconi C Fixed Truck Series top split at Rockingham.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to the virtual Rockingham Speedway here in virtual Rockingham, North Carolina. Larry Pace just wrapped up a win here in the Maconi C Fixed Truck Series top split race for the 8:15 time slot, of course, Eastern time. Jeremy, we saw a heck of a race here tonight. Obviously, Larry Pace kind of coming out of nowhere, making it happen, but we're going to run through our final results before we get into that. Larry Pace bringing it home, like we mentioned. Adam Gilliatt dominated. He comes home second. Gabriel Mauricio in 3rd. Ben Jones 14th. Hal Etheridge in 5th. Philip Szerzynski did hold off Kevin Moylan for that 6th spot. We saw their battle. Justin Foyle, Brady Sellers, 8th, 9th, rounding out the top 10. Jeremy is Noah Hubbard.
Just outside the top 10 is the number 7 truck of Jamie Haynes. In the 12th position, there was Wendy Messenger with the 13th spot going to James Cray and the 14th spot going to Benjamin Groves. The 15th spot goes to Carlos Lucino. Excuse me if I pronounced that wrong. Luciano, maybe? I don't know. I gave it my best shot, I promise. Caleb Johnson there in 16th. Alex Parker, 17th. Mitch Hughes in 18th. 19th, Joey Verga. Mike Farfara there, Farara in 20th. And then the first truck a lap down in 21st, Matthew Bourne. 22nd, Tony Blake Brewer. Ryan Robertson, I believe, was our only caution of some sort. 1 lap down in 23rd, and I believe Chris Miller was out early. 33 laps down in 24th.
Yeah, Ryan Robertson, indeed, the cause of that first yellow. We also saw him in the lap traffic with everything. But closing thoughts here. Wrapped up a quick one tonight, Jeremy, but nonetheless an exciting one at Rockingham. Next week brings even more excitement as we're going to the world's fastest half mile. It's Bristol, baby. It's although virtual. We're going truck racing under the lights at Bristol, Jeremy. What are your thoughts on Bristol, especially with the truck series?
Man, this is the last great Coliseum for a reason. It's like a concrete jungle to me. Just whiteness everywhere with that concrete, and it puts on a great show, and these drivers will have to kind of move around and try to stay out of that rubber if they can and try to find the clean concrete to have the most grip. Can't wait to watch next week's top split.
It's a bowl full of race cars. So obviously it's time for us say goodbye here. Thanks again to tonight's race sponsor, Maconi Setup Shop, as well as everybody tuning in on the iRacing social channels. Calling the action tonight was myself, Shane Mundy, alongside the one and only Jeremy Briggs. And in the booth producing for us is the lovely DJ Lion. I want to thank you all again for watching tonight's action at Rockingham, and hope you'll stay tuned to all of our social pages for our next race. Thanks to the entire staff for their work in bringing it all to you. This has been a production of Maconi Entertainment. We'll see you next time.